Emma and Daniel Clarkson were the picture of newlywed bliss till their dream home became a deadly trap. They moved into the fixer-upper with big plans and bigger smiles, eager to turn it into a masterpiece. But just months later, Emma vanished without a trace. And what Daniel poured into the foundation would haunt the entire neighborhood. This wasn't just a home renovation. It was a carefully staged cover-up. And by the time the truth cracked through the concrete, it was already too late. This is Home Renovation Homicide. Title: Home Renovation Homicide. Full episode narrationstyle.com. Investigative tone with building suspense. It was the kind of house you'd find on the cover of a renovation magazine. Tucked away in the quiet suburb of Chestnut Grove, the colonial-style fixer-upper had Dream Home written all over it. But behind its white shutters and fresh coat of paint, something sinister had taken root. The Clarksons were a seemingly normal couple, Emma and Daniel, newly married, eager to start their next chapter. She was a lifestyle blogger with a growing online following. He was a contractor with a reputation for quality work and clean records. They'd bought the house at a bargain. Too much of a bargain, some said. From the start, the renovation was their shared passion project. Emma chronicled every step for her fans, before and after shots, paint swatches, how-to videos. But as the weeks passed, her posts began to change. The cheerful tone grew clipped, smiles faded from the photos. Then, one day, she simply stopped posting. Concern trickled in from her online followers, then surged. They noticed comments left unanswered, brand collaborations abandoned, strange photos appearing in her feed, photos that didn't seem like her style. In one, her hands were dirty, almost clawed. In another, she looked scared. Just for a moment. And then, gone. Daniel told anyone who asked that Emma had gone to visit her sister across the country, that she needed a break. But no one could reach her. Her sister hadn't heard from her in months. The police were called in for a welfare check. The house was pristine. Floors polished, walls freshly painted, furniture arranged, just so. But in the basement, still under construction, investigators found something that chilled them. Beneath a concrete slab that had been recently poured, the ground was unusually uneven. When they broke through it, they discovered human remains, buried just inches below. The body was Emma's. The official autopsy report listed blunt force trauma as the cause of death. She had died weeks before the basement was finished. But even more disturbing were the signs of struggle, the bruises on her wrists, and the hairline fractures on her fingers. She had fought back, hard. Daniel was arrested that evening at a hardware store on the edge of town, purchasing industrial cleaning supplies. He didn't resist. The motive. At first, it seemed murky. There were no public arguments, no history of abuse. But as detectives dug deeper, they discovered a web of financial secrets. Daniel had racked up massive debts from a failed business venture. The house, it turned out, was never meant to be a home. It was an asset, something to flip and sell quickly for profit. But Emma didn't want to sell. She had grown attached. She had plans. She had found discrepancies in their joint accounts transfers she didn't authorize. When she confronted Daniel, the argument escalated. In a moment of rage, he struck her. The timeline was tight. Within 48 hours, he had buried her body under the floor and continued the renovation, using her name to keep the online brand alive. Even posted staged content to buy time. At trial, Daniel maintained that it was an accident, that he panicked. But the evidence painted a darker picture. A man desperate to erase a mistake, even if it meant hiding it beneath his own home. He was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. The house stood empty for months. No buyers, no visitors, just silence. Eventually, it was condemned and torn down. Locals say they still hear hammering sounds late at night from the empty lot. Whether that's just the wind or something else, no one knows for sure. What is known as this? In Chestnut Grove, one couple's dream home turned into a grave. And behind the perfect finish was a crime that no coat of paint could hide.